Okay, well, welcome to the other side of medicine, everyone. I am Dr. Krystosik, aka Dr. J. We're glad that you're in the house tonight. We have really a very special tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking about something that's dear to my heart, and that's laughter. You know, laughter is good medicine. It's no joke, folks. I promise you that laughter has good research behind it. And we're going to dive in tonight to some of the benefits of laughter. There are many, and research is beginning to just demonstrate that it has many, many beneficial effects on our body and our mind and our spirits. It really has a profound effect. You know, researchers are showing, first of all, laughter increases our oxygen level to our heart, into our lungs, into our brain. So we're going to think clearer. We're going to actually have better cardiovascular health, even laughing more. So that's something that most people don't know, but laughter has a lot of good research, as I said, behind it. You know, when you laugh, and I hope that you're laughing every single day, when you laugh, your body releases hormones, feel-good hormones. They're called endorphins and enkephalins. Now, these hormones actually help to increase our moods, that we feel much more relaxed. We get rid of anxiety. The research is clear. It helps to get rid of anxiety. Laughter has that effect on our bodies. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But laughter also reduces pain. Yeah, the research is very, very clear on that, that laughter helps to reduce pain as well. We actually have better memory when we laugh more. So there's no fooling. Laughter has profound effects on our body and our mind. And we're going to laugh tonight because we have a special program coming up here for you. And, you know, stress is really a big factor today for a lot of people. And living in this uncertain world, stress is really pervasive in our culture and around the world. So laughter helps to ease and kind of smooth over those stressful moments in our lives, gets rid of the anxiety, as I said earlier. And actually, laughter has been shown to help to relieve depression and anxiety. How about that? So, one study actually showed that laughter yoga actually worked better than anti-anxiety medications. Worked better than that. So laughter really is good medicine, folks. And so you don't want to take it lightly. You want to laugh every single day. I like to take at least 10, 15 minutes a day to watch a funny video, watch a funny movie, tell some jokes, and just during the course of the day, find ways to just bring humor into your life. You know, you don't want to live a stale, stiff life. You want to let that laughter flow. So that's something that we all need to do more of. And again, this program is all about natural, safe, effective medicine based on science. So everything I just told you right now is all based on good scientific evidence. There's good studies to show that. Actually, there was a study done on over 200 women, and they showed that when women who had more relaxed laughter and relaxation in their life, that it increased the beneficial bacteria inside of their guts. And when they had in the same study women who were much more full of anxiety and stress, the bad bacteria in their gut began to proliferate. So there's a direct correlation between laughter and beneficial bacteria in the gut, which helps to support your immune system. And with you have depression and anxiety and a lot of stress in your life, then the bad bacteria begin to raise their ugly heads. And when you laugh more, those good bacteria inside your gut are jumping for joy. So take heed, start laughing more. And that's something that we here on the other side of medicine like to do. And I'll tell you what, Hippocrates, the father of all medicine, said that all disease begins in the gut. And so when you laugh more and you get that good bacteria jumping for joy, you're going to help to protect your gut, strengthen your immune system, because whether you know it or not, 75% of your immune system is sitting inside your gut. Hippocrates, I mentioned earlier, father of medicine, he said, above all, do no harm. And when you laugh, that's good medicine. There's no side effects. Like me, you may end up having a little extra gas if you laugh too hard, but that's not going to hurt anything. You'll just maybe cause a little pollution in the city, but don't worry about that. People will get over it. So tonight, we are going to have some laughs because we have a special guest in the house, and I think you're going to love tonight's episode. We have a legendary Harlam Globetrotter basketball. I know when I was growing up, the Harlam Globetrotters was dear to my heart. My dad would take me down to the arena downtown Cleveland, and we watched the Harlam Globetrotters, and we just have some good belly laughs. Those guys are absolutely amazing. And tonight we are very blessed to have and delighted to have a legendary Harlam Globetrotter player. He was a former basketball player at Ohio State. So we all love this guy because he was an Ohio State basketball player. And he then transitioned to playing basketball in Europe. He'll talk about that. And then he ended up with the Harlam Globetrotters. His name is Dereck Polk. And so, Dereck Polk, welcome to the other side of medicine, my friend. How are you tonight?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk about my journey, and I'm happy to be on your show.
Well, we're glad that you're with us. We want to have some belly laughs tonight. So let's talk a little bit about your background first. I know you're a Cleveland, Ohio boy. And
Yes.
so it's really dear to my heart because, we're right here from Cleveland as well. So tell us a little bit about your history, how basketball became a big part of your life. And first of all, we got to let our people know here that Dereck is 7'1" tall. That I give you that
Yeah.
extra inch there,
That's
okay?
okay. I take everything I can get.
So tell us how basketball became part and parcel of your life.
Well, growing up as a kid, I grew up in the inner city of Cleveland, and go out on the playgrounds and playing basketball, and I watched basketball on TV. Uh, back then early, they had delayed broadcasts and stuff. So I was watching, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and watching the Knicks play, and then we had the Cavaliers and stuff. And I always said that, I set a goal for myself that I wanted to be a professional basketball player. And, one of the things I've been blessed is that I was able to continue to work. Someone took a chance on me, a kid that grew up in the projects, that wanted to play basketball and wanted to learn the game, wanted to absorb every inch about the game of basketball, the ups and downs, and working on different shots. And I remember I shoot a hook shot like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and
Mhm.
it just the game of basketball to me was something that I loved, and I wanted to be an intricate part of my life. And it also gave me an opportunity to get out of the neighborhood where I was at and go on to college and get a degree. And without the game of basketball and being blessed by the man upstairs, there's no telling, where I would have been, because, there was a lot of people that didn't think that I would amount to anything. I was single mom raised because my dad wasn't around, but my mom entrusted that confidence in me, and she was always there for me. And I had to make a take an example. I had to leave some of my friends alone and say, this is what I want to do, and I'm not going to let anything deter me from doing it. So I set that goal, and I was very, very, very fortunate that everything fell into place. I went to Cleveland Central Catholic High School, and I could have went to East Tech, but my mom said, I wanted you to get a better education. And so that means a lot of kids don't realize today that the hurdles and stuff that you have to go through in life if you really want something. And so I went to Cleveland Central Catholic, and I had to catch RTA to go to school. I had to catch RTA coming back from practice at night. And there's a lot of
Oh,
no's, you know.
so you went from one side of town to the other side of town.
Well, I went, well, yeah, well, I stayed on the same side of town, but I just had to go either had to go take the downtown bus and then catch a bus to come back up Broadway, or if I'm lucky enough, I can catch the 55th and go across, go across, you know, Broadway to 55th and go and get off at Woodland, and then, you know, I'd have to walk home.
Mhm.
And it was very distant, very different situation back then, because it was a little racial divide. So some nights I had to catch the bus by myself. Maybe I had a teammate sometime, but then I also had a teammate whose dad that would take me across 55th and drop me off at Woodland. So, you know, just the matter if they could do it or not. So I had to.
Was that a little scary for you back then?
Oh man, it was very scary because you never knew, you know, what could happen at that time. But by the grace of God, nothing happened to me, and I persevered, and you know, I was very blessed and lucky to be able to
That's
finish
really
my
sad.
career.
It's really sad that we went through that period of history in our country, but thank God we're through that. And we're really a country that I believe that has much more brotherhood and love for each other, even though that the political systems want to put a divide between us. I think
Yeah,
there's a lot of love between us, and I really enjoy the love between the black and white brothers. And I've always had a love in my heart for black people, because I've been
yes,
around playing basketball my whole life too. So on
yeah,
the playground, I would play with a lot of black people, but
yeah,
I think the political system today is trying to put a divide between us, and I
yeah.
don't appreciate that.
Yep, you know, you know what, that's our history, and it's probably going to continue to do that. But you know, there's a lot of good people out there in this world that really care about the other person, and you know, I think, I truly believe that's what Christ is like. We want you to love your other brother, your other sister, and treat them with respect and love. And I think that's very, very important. I take that very seriously. I don't disrespect anybody. I love everybody, and I try to help as much as I can.
Well, you're a 7'1" giant, but you're as gentle as a dove, and I really appreciate that. So let's talk a little bit about Ohio State basketball, because that's pretty amazing that you got drafted. Oh, before we go through that, I want to talk a little bit about being 7'1". Well, how tall were you when you were in high school?
I'll give you a quick little story. My eighth grade, I was 5'11". My freshman year, I grew to 6'1". My sophomore year, I grew to 6'3". My junior year, I was 6'5", and then my senior year, I was 6'8". And then when I got to college, I 7 feet.
Holy moly, that's an
Yeah,
interesting story. It really
yeah.
is.
Yes, I
Yeah,
grew just like that.
you were
Yeah.
surprised.
Oh man, I was surprised, and so was my mom. My mom was surprised, but you know, I had tall parents, so you know, nobody kind of knew how tall I would be, but you know, they didn't think I'd be this tall.
Did your dad love basketball?
Yeah, he dubbed it a little bit. I really didn't know my dad until I got older. You know, since my mom and dad, they separated when I was younger. And the only time growing up as a kid I would see him would be maybe at funerals and stuff like that. And you know, I had that anger that, you know, what was the reason why that you weren't being a part of my life?
Hmm,
And it's not till I got to about 50 years old, 50, yeah, about 50 years old, that I found him. I kind of reconnected with him. And, you know, we kind of talked, and he told me his side of the story of why. And I always said to him, I understand that, but you still was my dad, and you still should have been around for me. You don't call me and tell me that you're gonna come and bring me something for Christmas. And as a kid, I'm looking through the window and waiting for you to come, and you never show. And
hmm,
he apologized, and you know, after a few years after that, you know, he passed away. But you know, the emotions that I had for him, it was there was nothing there because he wasn't around in my life.
sure,
And you
sure.
know, a lot of people don't realize that the motion and the stress is very, very hard on a young man. What probably they probably do is very hard on a young man that his father's not in his in their life. So I think that's what made me to be such a great father because to my daughters because my dad wasn't in life. But I did not stop that from me reaching my goals and doing what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that kind of drove you to really want to become more, um, I guess, not only professional but successful.
Yeah,
In spite of that, so that you could have a family and show them the love that you
yeah,
wanted to have. So that's beautiful. That's
absolutely.
a beautiful story. So thank God for your mom and how she really got behind you and just really, really helped. But I'm also thankful for you and your dad that you were able to rectify those things and before he died, you were able to resolve some of those things. So that's great. Great
Yeah.
story. So let's talk about uh, how did you get drafted to Ohio State and how did you feel when that all happened?
Well, I had been playing basketball overseas for a while, and the Clippers invited me to camp, so I was playing out in the LA Summer League.
Yeah, but
And
was that after Ohio State or before?
yes, that was after Ohio State.
Well,
That was after Ohio.
I want to talk a little bit about Ohio State. How did you get
Okay.
drafted there? How did they recruit you for Ohio State?
When I left Cleveland Central Catholic, I went to Arizona Western Junior College because I wasn't highly recruited. I had a pretty good senior year, but I wasn't highly recruited. So I went to Arizona. I went to Arizona for 2 years. My first year, I played pretty sparingly, even though we had a sophomore. We had a bunch of sophomores, but I played. I got quite a lot of time, and I had some schools that were after me. And I called my coach and said, "Well, I got a couple schools that are after me, and I'm thinking about leaving and going to them." And he told me, he said, "Dereck, if you come back and continue to work hard, you will be those offers that you get will more than triple." I had almost 100 offers coming back to me
Hmm.
after that because my sophomore year I had just 17 points, almost 17 rebounds a game, almost 6 points a game. And that started calling me Ohio State, Iowa, Texas, all these places.
Hmm.
And a lot of people know Bob Huggins. Bob Huggins was the assistant coach at Ohio State. And he had called me because my junior college coach had coached at West Virginia and had coached him. And he said, "Well, we're looking for a center, to come in." And they redshirted me 1 year and then, go right into to playing and sharing times with Granville Waiters. And so
Hmm.
I had to make that decision. And that decision, I decided to go to Ohio State because my mom worked so much that she didn't really get a chance to see me in high school play.
Hmm. Hmm.
So with me going to Ohio State, going to be on TV, playing in the Big Ten and all that, I said yes, I'm gonna come and sign. So I signed with
Hmm.
Ohio State, and
Very nice.
the rest is history.
So you did that partly for your mom so she could watch. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was
Yep.
beautiful. So
Yep.
okay, so after you graduated from Ohio State, you
hmm
ended up what happened then?
After I graduated from Ohio State, I went on to a lot of people don't realize I played with Christian AIA Athletes in Action, Christian athlete team. I played with that, and then played in Belgium, and then I went on and played in Australia, and then I also played in Spain, and then I uh, I was trying to decide, what I wanted to do, and then the Globetrotters opportunity came. And I remember as a kid going down to Cleveland Arena, like you did, and watching the Globetrotters. And I'm
Mhm.
saying to myself, wow, how do they do all those tricks with the basketball? And I'm looking around, I'm seeing everybody smiling and laughing and giggling. I said, well, I'm going to try this. So I went to camp, and they had 18 players that they invited to camp, and they kept 10 because they had two teams at that time. And I was the one they camped, and they offered me a contract. And I said to myself, you know what? I've been very lucky. I've been playing professional basketball. I'm going to try this. And I tell you what, it was such a blast playing in a different city every night in a customized bus. One night you're in Cleveland, one night you're in Chicago, the next night you're in Milwaukee, And my first year, we played in all the big NBA arenas. So I got a chance to play at Richfield Coliseum and come back home where everybody could
Mm,
see me.
mhm,
And then we went up to Boston. I got a chance to play in the great old Boston Arena. And we got a chance, we were in the Celtics locker room. So right there, you see Larry Bird's
mhm, mhm,
locker, Kevin McHale's locker, Dennis Johnson's locker. I
mhm,
mean, you in this historic place, and then you get down on the floor, and the floor is a great place to jump, but there are some dead spots in that thing. When they say
mm,
there's dead spots, oh, that's true. There are dead spots for
mm,
sure. Oh
mhm,
man. Then I continued. We got to play in Madison Square Garden. And then we got a chance to go out to LA and play in the Great Western Forum where the Lakers won their early championships with Magic and stuff like that. And I think one of the keys to to playing with the Globetrotters is that a lot of people don't realize that it's a show and they think, oh, well, were you having fun and stuff? Yes, you're having fun, but it's still a job because the people don't care whether your knees hurt, your back hurt. All they want to see is that you put on a show for them and to see
mhm,
those smiles on their face. It's
mhm.
just great, man. A lot of people, you just gotta be part of it to realize how special it is. And it's not just in the States, it's across the globe. Across the
How
globe.
many countries did you go to?
Oh man, I had to go at least 20 countries. We each year we went to Southeast Asia. So we went to China, Japan. We went back to Australia, Singapore, Costa Rica, Argentina, all Peru. Man, I tell you. And you know what? One thing that I can honestly say about the Globetrotters, because a lot of people look at the United States as not a good country, and they don't like us. But some places we had to go, we had armed guards. But we
Mm,
played for the Globetrotters, man. A lot of people don't realize we went to the malls and stuff.
mhm,
And you know what that means? That means that's a sign of respect because
mhm,
they know that we come in there to cheer them on and that they're coming to have fun and to forget about all the negative stuff and all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes. And
mm.
it was just great. We were well received. Every country that I've been in, we've been well received.
So when you went to China,
Yes.
um, how did the people receive you there?
Oh, they received us great. I remember there was an article in the Plain Dealer with me being in Tiananmen Square, and it has Chinese people around me and stuff, and getting a chance to go see the Great Wall of China and all the history that China has to offer. We were welcomed with open arms,
Mm.
no issues at all. They wanted to sign
Was
autographs,
it a
and
big
I tell
arena?
you,
A big
yeah,
arena there?
yep, yep. I tell you a quick story. We were in a small town in China, and they didn't have a gym floor. Do you know that they brought cardboard out, made a gym floor, put a half court line, put a back, free throw line and a court, and they made a court, and we did the show. We
Wow.
jumping off cardboard, man.
That's fun.
A
Mm,
lot of people don't realize that they did that, and you know what? We had a great show, and those people laughed and they smiled, and then they hung out, and we signed autographs for them, and it really makes you appreciate when you go to a different country. I know things have changed now, but when you go to a different country and you see how people live, it really makes you appreciate what you have here because things aren't the greatest in some of these places that we've went to. You can't just turn on the TV and watch a program. Or some families don't have places to live. I remember in China, we were staying in a big hotel, and you open up open up your window, the back part, and you see families living in shacks, and it
mm,
makes you appreciate, man. I'll tell you, it makes you appreciate what you have and how good God is. It
mhm,
really does. Because a lot of people, if you go over there and will see that, a lot of people's ideas would change. It really would because they would appreciate what you have here and the gifts that you have here.
mhm. That's really special that you were able to get that perspective so you could look back and appreciate what we have here, and then you could share it with others too. And it's really nice because now you're, we'll talk about here in a minute, you're sharing with youth and telling them about these stories and helping them to learn these basketball tricks and teaching them about not only the tricks of basketball but how to be able to survive in life and be able to enjoy and appreciate and respect all life. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But I still want to talk about the Globetrotters a little bit more because tell us about some unique experiences that you maybe had. That one with the basketball floor with the cardboard boxes was very unique, but maybe just some funny stories about some of the players on your team and some of the experiences you had with them.
Let's see. I was very blessed to have some good teammates.
What were
When you
some of their
spend,
names? What were some of their names and their show names?
okay, we had James Twiggy Sanders. We had Tyrone Hollywood Brown. We had Matthew Showbiz Jackson, Michael Memphis Douglas, Curly Boo Johnson, who's from Chicago. We had JB Brown, myself, Seven Polk, and also was Sweet Lou Dunbar. He came over and played with us some too. So we had a whole cast of characters. But when it came to the show, we put everything together because we knew the importance of that show and the importance of what people wanted to come to see. And we just we took it very, very personal. When you step out on the floor, let's go and give these people a great show because they
You
'cause-
guys are not only basketball players, you're actors. You were
yes,
acting. You were like
yes,
casting a show. I know
yes.
I remember back in the day, there was, a lot of conversation and acting and, just really a lot of gymnastics. And tell us more about some of the tricks and things that you would do.
Well, you know what? Everybody always remember to this day, everybody still gets caught up in the water routine. To this day, it still gets laughs because even though you have the water, they don't know what's going with the second water, but it just people just, oh my goodness, they just move because they think the water's coming and it's confetti. And
Well, tell us about that because a lot of our audience never experienced it. What was the actual act? What happened during that?
well, what happened is we'd have a break, and then guy would come out, room service, and say, "What do you got?" I got ice cold water. So you got enough for everybody? And he got said, I got enough for everybody. So then he would take a cup and he'd go over in the stands and he'd sit and he'd drink. And then one of our guys would be shooting the free throw. And then once the guy shoots the free throw, he makes it, he gets up and spills the cup of water on everybody in the back. And he said, uh-oh. And the announcer would say, you spilled the water on everybody there. I'm sorry. Then he goes and gets some more. And we say, hey, can't have any more water. I'm going to get some water. And the guy can't say, you can't have any water. Why not? Because you got all those people wet. Oh man, I have some water. No, you can't have it. So he throws the water on a teammate. And then he goes back and gets the bucket of water. And he say, hey, going here, and he may pick up a kid, and he goes back and forth with the kid. Then he runs, then he runs, then he runs. Then you realize the referee is sitting over there. So he throws the ducks and he throws the water, and the referee gets all wet. And he said, oh. So then he gets mad. He's got another bucket. So everybody thinks he's got another bucket of water. So he's running here, he's running there. All of a sudden he runs and he ducks, and everybody's going, oh my goodness. And the confetti comes out. And then the people just laughing and
goes into the crowd. Probably goes
yeah,
into the crowd.
yes,
The confetti
yes,
goes into the crowd,
yeah.
yeah. and they think water's
Yes.
coming at them. They think water's coming at them.
You're right, right. And then, a lot of people don't realize we did a lot of dunking, a lot of show plays coming out of what we call a hop, where they'd hop it, and I would have to come from the corner, and the guard would get the ball. He'd come and he'd throw it up in the air, and I have to go get it every night and dunk it and finish
Mhm.
that ream off good.
Now, when you did stunts with some of the people in the audience, did you kind of like seed them before the events to say we're going to do something with you, or do you just pick them up out of the crowd and do
Pick them
stuff?
up out of the crowd. When you come to a Globetrotter show, you never know, but you never know who it's going to be.
Okay,
We
so
don't tell them. They just know. So if you're sitting down in front, the chances are you're gonna get wet or you're gonna get picked, chose to do a dance or something.
that wasn't staged. It
No.
was all just ad libbing.
Yep.
I
Yep.
love it. I love it. That's
Yep.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, people don't realize, but the Globetrotters have quite a history behind them. I know they started back in way back in 1927 was actually their first.
Yes.
Their first game was in the South Side of Chicago in
Yes.
1926, and then they had their first road game in 1927 actually.
Yep.
So that's kind of an interesting history behind them right there. And
Yep.
then of course there was a lot going on past that because the Globetrotters have literally been in front of 148 million people. How about that?
Yes. And that's grown. That is grown. They've been around for almost 100 some years, and it's still going strong. We have some younger players on the team. When they come to Cleveland, I take my family to watch them, and then I get a chance to interact with them and talk with them on what it's like to be a Globetrotter and what does it represents.
Now, do
And
when they come to town, do you get recognized during halftime show or
yes,
something?
yes, I
Awesome.
do. Yes,
Now,
I do. They said we like to welcome Globetrotter, our own Dereck Polk. So I'm down at Rocket Mortgage Arena and I stand up and get standing ovation. And one of the things, after the game, they sign autographs. I sign autographs too. And I'm
okay.
walking out of the arena, and my daughters, they know how to spin the ball on their finger and stuff like that. So they showing off a little bit too. But I'm signing
Mhm.
autographs, and it's really heartwarming because people still remember me. When you haven't been playing with for a long time, but they still remember you and they still appreciate you. It really makes you feel good, man. It really does.
That's great, man. That's good. Your good bacteria is jumping inside of your gut and making you
Yes, yes,
healthy.
yes. There you go.
So,
Yep.
so 148 million fans, 148 million
Yep.
fans
And
over there.
growing.
My, oh, my, oh, my. And you know what? They've been in 123 countries.
Yes.
That's mind-boggling.
Oh, it really tells you just how long, that the Globetrotters have been around. A lot of people don't realize that before the NBA was the NBA, there was Globetrotters. And the Globetrotters would play second, NBA games would play first, and people would stay around to watch the Globetrotters. And I also got to tell you that one of the first African American players, Nate Sweetwater Clifton, played in the NBA. He was a
Mm-hmm.
Globetrotter.
Mm-hmm.
He was a Globetrotter. And
Yeah,
then Will
no.
Chamberlain played with the Globetrotters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
So
there's a lot of history, man, a lot of history. And the NBA owes a lot to the Harlem Globetrotters because some of the players, players that got a chance, the opportunity to play, and the NBA is just taking off, and it's a beautiful game. But each player should owe the Globetrotters a big, big thank you because they kind of set and paved the way for it.
well, not only the NBA, but the WNBA as
Yep.
well. The
Yep.
Globetrotters had a significant influence there as well.
Yep, we had the first female basketball player to play with the Globetrotters, Lynette Woodard. She was a
Mm-hmm.
great player, great ambassador. good person. She still represents the Globetrotters to this day.
Was she funny?
Yes, she was funny. She was funny. She handled the basketball. She did all those things. She did a very good job. And then a lot of people don't realize that after she left, we had one, two, three, four. We had five more female Globetrotters
Nice.
that played.
Now let me ask you this. How did it
Yeah,
make you feel to see all those kids laughing? I know I laughed when I was a kid to see the World Cup. How did it make you feel? How did it make the whole team feel?
it really made us feel very, I say, warm, feeling beautiful because we put smiles on kids' faces because you don't know what the kids are going through, their home life or whatever. And for parents to to find the money to have them come to watch you play because the kid wants to come and watch you play, man, is something that you can't put a price on. You
Hmm.
cannot put a price on it. And the kids loved it. And we stayed and we signed their basketballs they had. We gave them wristbands. They get autograph pictures. They get all those things. And those kids are going to remember that. I've ran into some kids that I've signed autographs for long, long time ago, and they still got it and they still remember me.
Hmm.
They
So that's
still remember me.
a good
Yes.
impression. You made a good impression.
Oh, absolutely. And you never know that could change a kid's life.
Mhm, mhm. Speaking of changing kids' lives, let's talk a little bit about what you're doing now because you're affecting kids' lives now with coaching AAU basketball. You have a nonprofit organization. Let's talk about some of those things.
Well, for years I've been coaching. I've been coaching AAU basketball for about 25 years, and I've always coached for somebody else. And I finally decided that I'm going to do my own basketball program. I'm going to call it Dereck Polk Sports, and it's Dereck Polk Basketball. And what it does is it gives some parents can afford to pay, and some can't afford to pay. And I remember me, like I said, growing up as a kid, I couldn't afford to pay to maybe go on trips or play basketball like that. But somebody scholarshiped me and they believed in me. So I do the same thing with the young kids that I have. Because when I work with other organizations, they always talking about, well, that's going to affect the bottom line. And for me, the bottom line, you affect the bottom line. But what about the kids that really want to learn about the game of basketball, but also want to learn about life? And one of the things that my program is, we teach them how to play basketball the right way, but we also teach them about how to handle life situations when it comes up. Because, well, as you know, life is a roller coaster, it's up and down. And you will try to keep a kid on a straight and narrow, and you try to help them to get to the next level because they want to go and play basketball. And my foundation is that every kid deserves an opportunity to not only play basketball, but an opportunity to go to college. And if they want to play basketball, I make calls for them to coaches and say, I've got a kid that's it's a good kid. His grades are good, and I think he would fit your program. So we take film of the kids and send it to them, and coaches say, well, I'm interested. I'll come and watch them, or they'll go and take a visit. And I've sent some kids to college to play basketball, and I
Nice.
think that's important. I've also scholarshiped tons of kids where they couldn't afford to pay. So I said, don't worry about it. You just come and pay and have fun. And
Mhm.
it helps their parents because they may have three or four kids and they can't afford to
Mhm.
do all that. So my bottom line is if I can help in some kind of way, that's what my foundation does. And it does me my heart well because I've been blessed to been able to do a lot of things in my life. Someone gave a chance to me, and I'm just returning the favor, playing it
I love
forward.
I love it. I love it. I really love how you put an emphasis on teaching them not only basketball, but how important it is to get a good education. And you
Yes.
instill that in their minds. I love how you do that. So it's wonderful to see you encouraging these kids. Now, do you bring some of the Globetrotters tricks to these kids?
I show them a few of them, and I tell them that I want you to work on this, and then if you work on it, then you come back and you show me what you can do. And they come back and say, "Look, coach, I can take the ball and spin it around my arms, and I can throw it behind my back and stuff like that." And it shows me that they really appreciate what I've done, and they just love it. I really love what I do. I really love coaching kids and teaching them about life, and the parents appreciate it too. And I'm always open for a parent if she needs to talk to me about her kid, or her kids sometimes will talk to me where they won't talk to their parents. But their
Mhm.
parents know for sure I'm not going to tell them anything wrong. I'm not going to tell them. I'm always going to lead them in the right direction, because I believe that I'm here for that purpose, and I
Mhm.
want to leave a legacy that I've helped kids, and my reputation is very good. I have a good reputation as being a good person, a good coach, and wants best for the kids.
Yeah. So, do you have any kids that you've had over the years who aspire to be a Globetrotter?
No, I haven't had any inspired to be a globetrotter, not yet. But we're gonna keep on working on it. It's gonna be one. It's gonna be one. It's gonna be one, and I'll be able to tell him exactly what he has to do and who he has to call to get that opportunity.
Hmm. I'm surprised if you don't have somebody already doing that, but that one will show up, I'm sure. And when
Oh
they
yeah,
do, you'll be a
I-
you'll be a good inspiration for them. So
I'll be
that's
ready.
beautiful. What's the name of your organization that you have? Your nonprofit organization?
It's called the Dereck Polk Sports, and Dereck Polk basketball is part of it, and it's called. You can go DereckPolkSports.com, and my website will come up, and it'll tell you everything, share about me, some of my camps, some of my clinics. Uh, has some pictures of me doing stuff with the kids and stuff, and it's on my website. And you baby, if anybody that wants to donate, to it, it's 501c3, so it's nonprofit. All the profits goes to making sure that kids get an opportunity to not only to play, but also to get an opportunity to go to college. And that's really true to my heart, because nobody ever thought that I would be able to go to Ohio State, play big time college basketball, and get my degree in education. First person in my family to do it, and
Mhm.
that's I'm sticking to that, and I'm proud of that, because the odds were against me, but I
Mhm.
wasn't going to let those odds defeat me.
Now, when you played for Ohio State, what was the record of the team? Was it any good? Was it still building? What was going on back then?
We were pretty good. We made the NCAA tournament each year. Uh, my junior year, we lost the Big Ten title to Minnesota, and then my senior year, we
Oh,
lost the
wait,
Big
wait,
Ten
wait, hold
title to
on.
Indiana.
You got into the final of the Big Ten final?
Well, they didn't have the finals back then. They just had whoever won. They had a Big Ten tournament now the last 10 to 15 years. Remember, I was back 30 years. I graduated in '83.
Okay.
So, whoever won the Big Ten, they won the Big Ten. So we lost to Minnesota my junior year, and then we lost to Indiana my senior year. And, I got a chance to play against Isaiah Thomas, and I
Mm,
got a chance to I got a chance to play against Kevin Willis and Scott Skiles from
sure, sure.
Michigan State. Yep, and
Mhm.
got a
I
chance to play
know.
against Roy Tarpley and all those guys. And then in the NCAA's, my last college game was against Michael Jordan in North Carolina.
Wow.
Yep, and they had Sam Perkins, and they had Jeff Lebo. I think they had Jimmy Black. They had all those guys, and they didn't win it that year because Michael had won it the year before. I think no, Michael had won it in '84. I think he won it in '84,
Mhm.
and that was a great chance to play. Nobody They knew Michael was going to be good, but they didn't know how good he was going to be. But he was good back then, and he
Mhm.
just went on and took it to another level.
Sure, sure. Well, again, going back to the Globetrotters, for those people who don't know, the Globetrotters have just been bringing joy to young people and old people around the globe for, as you said, close to 100 years.
Hmm.
And I know that not only the common folks would go and watch them, like my family and other children around the country, but also I know you guys played in front of kings and queens and popes
Yeah,
and dignitaries all around the world. So that has been something that really has made a mark in history across the world. And that name, the Globetrotters, affects and puts smiles on everybody's faces across the globe. So, how does that really make you feel as a person, knowing you contributed to that?
it really makes me feel good. I've been around this world, and I've never from young kids to seniors, they all have a story about watching the Globetrotters. They all have a story. I don't care what country you go to, they have a story of watching the Globetrotters and how impactful it made on their lives. They laugh so hard and they tell, "Oh, I love you when you guys do the water, and I love you when you take the girl's purse and everything." And I want to share a little story with you guys. I was very fortunate to go to the White House back then, and I
Mm-hmm.
got a chance to meet uh, George Bush's dad and Barbara Bush. And
Hmm.
we were at dinner outside of Washington D.C. at Eunice Shriver Kennedy's. She got a big old mansion, and here I am. I'm sitting down and having dinner with Muhammad Ali. I get a chance to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
I get a chance to meet Florence Griffith Joyner. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, all these celebrities that I get a chance to watch. And you know what the most interesting part about that is? They were
No.
interested in me. I'm saying, I watched you on TV. They were interested to say, what is it like to be a Globetrotter? How does it
Mm-hmm.
feel? They asked those same questions that you ask.
Mm-hmm.
And they were intrigued. I mean, and then they come up with their stories. I remember watching you guys here and watching you guys there. And I'm like, wow, it's here I am. I'm in watching celebrities, and
Mm-hmm.
they're treating me like I'm celebrities. And I
Nice.
go there. I was with Kirk Cameron from Growing Pains. I'm thinking, you remember. A lot of people don't remember them, but I was with him and his fiance, and I got a chance to meet Ethel Kennedy, and I got a chance also to she's the Mary Lou Retton. I got a chance to meet her, and got a chance to meet country singer Barbara Mandrell. I mean,
Nice.
I got a chance to meet all these celebrities, and it was
Tell,
great,
tell that,
man.
tell that story, that funny story about Whoopi Goldberg inside the
Ye-
stadium there.
Yes, we were out in Los Angeles in the Great Forum, Western Forum, and we got a chance to meet Whoopi Goldberg, and we made her an honorary Globetrotter right on the forum floor. And
Mm-hmm.
then when you see celebrities out there watching, they come, you know how the celebrities come to watch the Lakers? They came to watch us too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nice, nice. Well, there's certainly a lot of good memories that you have, and you've affected millions of families, children, husbands, wives, grandpas, grandmas around the world, bringing
Yes.
smiles to these people, warming their hearts, and really giving them a time to be able to just relieve the stress of life wherever
Yes.
they're, and that had
Yes.
to really make you feel good to be able to contribute that kind of feeling to those people. So I'm just really so delighted that we were able to have you here tonight. And is there anything that you would like to share with our listening audience about maybe the Globetrotters that we haven't talked about, or about anything that you think is important and relevant to bringing more laughter in people's life and joy?
I want to say, with the way the world is today, bring a smile to your face, say your prayers, and trust in the man upstairs. And he's got everything under control. And what's going to happen is going to happen, but you trust in faith that everything's going to work out and bring a smile to your face and treat each other with respect and try to love each other as best as possible. That's the way God would want you to be.
Yeah. What was the Globetrotters philosophy in bringing to each city that they what was they must have some kind of a overarching philosophy.
Um, just bring smiles and joy to every person that you meet, every country that you go to. Bring a smile to their face, and
Hmm.
because that's what they come to see, and you give the people what they want. They
Hmm.
want to come, they want to laugh, they want to they want to laugh hard, they want to smile, they want to have fun, and that
What were some of the special moments? Give us a couple of examples of special moments that stick out in your mind that really were, really touching and maybe really very laughable. Special moments.
oh man, uh
You probably got hundreds of them.
yeah, I just said it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I remember one time a guy wanted to propose to his girlfriend. So he had it all set up where he could come and do it, and he just go into the game, and guy took a purse, and she came out, and then he came out, and he got on one knee, and he proposed to her, and that was a great thing. That was
Now,
that was a beautiful thing.
that staged, or was that actually just something that was done?
No, that was kind of staged because we got we wanted to. He called and said, he got it from our office, and the office got it out to us that, there's a guy that wants to propose to his girlfriend. And so, we set it up the right way. And that
Nice,
was great. And they got standing ovation and everything.
very nice. You warmed the hearts not only of the people, but that were getting married, but the
Yep.
hearts of the people that were there. That was beautiful.
Yep.
Well, I know that over the years, the Globetrotters have brought a lot of laughs to people around the world,
Yep.
and you were a big part of that. And I'm sure that had to make you feel very fulfilled to be able to contribute to that, and
Yep.
being able to share in that joy and make kids laugh, make adults laugh. That really had to make you feel good inside, I'm sure.
Yeah. It did. It gave me a warm feeling, man. It gives your job a special meaning when you can continue to bring smiles and stuff to the kids' face and their parents and
Mm.
just the audience face and the laughter. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Now, these referees that were there, did they travel with you? I know I'm always curious about that.
Yes.
Yeah, those
Yep, they
referees,
travel.
okay, so they
Yep.
were part of the act.
Yeah, they're part of that too. Yes.
Hmm. Got it. So they kind of knew the rhythm of things, and they would kind of
Yes.
contribute to the whole nuance of
Yep.
the laughter and everything there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, did you ever perform in front of a president? I know you said Bush. Was there any other president?
Nope. No other president. And when I with Bush, I got a chance to meet him because some of my teammates, it was about six of us, we were there at the President Council on Physical Fitness, which Arnold Schwarzenegger was in charge of. So, we got
Mhm.
a chance to go there. We got a chance to visit the White House, go inside the White House, and got a chance to meet all the celebrities that were there.
Mhm. Nice. Well, that was probably a very fulfilling experience for you, being able to
Yes.
travel around the world to all those countries and bring
Yeah.
joy to all the hearts of those kids and adults as well. And
Yes.
that's going to be a memory that you'll never forget, and your grandkids will know about, and you'll be able to share for a long time.
Yes.
Once
Yes.
again,
Exactly.
how can people get in touch with you? If for example, if you can come and talk to some group or some
Yes.
organization or some church or some company, how do people get in touch with you?
My email address is DERICKPOLK5151 at gmail.com.
Okay, say that one more time.
DERICKPOLK 5151 at gmail.com.
So that's Dereck Polk 5151 at gmail.com. We'll
Correct.
put that inside of the description on our website and
Okay.
in video. So the people, if they want to get in touch with you, they want
Yes.
you to come and speak at an organization, at a
Yes.
school. I know
Yep.
that you're on a speakers bureau,
Yep.
and you go out and you talk to groups,
Yes.
and yeah. So people, if they want to get in touch with you for a church or a school or a
Yep.
corporation or
Yep.
organization, you're happy to
Yep.
do that.
Yep. They can go to my website, DereckPolkSports.com.
Great. And if they have any kids that would like to try out for one of your teams or learn more about AAU basketball, they can reach
Yeah.
out to you there as well, right?
Absolutely.
Do
Absolutely.
you hold camps during the season?
During the season, most of the times, most of the team, my players are playing on their school teams. But for the kids who don't make their school teams, I do hold some camps for them. You know, you got to remember also, I'm also a college coach too. I also assistant coach at Bryan and Stratton College here in Ohio. And Solon, Ohio is our main campus, and it's a junior college for 2 years. And that way I also get a chance to help kids to get to the next level in college too. So I do that as well.
Very nice. Well, this has been a real pleasure to have you as a guest tonight. So we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart for being on the other side of medicine. And I'm certain that sometime in the future, we'll have you back as well. So I want to play you some
Anytime.
one-on-one though, because
Okay.
I'm going
Okay.
to get on the floor. We're going to play some one-on-one together, okay?
All right. We can do that. We can do that. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you for having me, and God bless.
God bless you too, my friend.
All right. Take care.
You take care now.
Yep.